How are you today, friends?
Fine.
Hi, Patri.
Hi.
Well, friends, let's begin our class by watching something about the media. Everything. Hello. Let's watch a short video about the media because this unit number 8, is about the media, the importance of media in our lives. So I'm going to send you by WhatsApp a short video that I want you to watch before beginning the class. So I'll send it to you immediately. Have you received the video?
Yes.
Good. Watch the video and we will continue the class.
In the early 1980s, roughly 50 different companies owned 90% of American media. By 1992, that number had In the early 1980s, roughly 50 different companies owned 90% of American media. By 1992, that number had dropped to less than 2 dozen, and in recent years, that same 90% has fallen to just 6 major conglomerates. Although various mergers and layers of external control make this an inexact number, most of the big 6 hold interests in film production, cable and broadcast television, news, sports, music, and online streaming. So, who exactly controls the media? As of 2015, the largest media company in the world by revenue is Comcast. According to the SEC, in 2014, they reportedly made nearly $69 billion. Like the other conglomerates, Comcast owns nearly every step in media production and distribution. In fact, Comcast is the single largest cable provider on Earth. Content is created through subsidiaries like NBC Universal, which is then broadcast over TV and the internet through Xfinity. Comcast is also a major internet service provider, covering more than half of all U.S. broadband customers. Even online streaming giant Hulu is jointly owned by 3 of the big 6. The next largest conglomerate is the Walt Disney Company, with reportedly roughly $48 billion in revenue. Disney has holdings in theme parks, movie studios, and diverse television networks such as ABC, and ESPN. They also own a number of legacy companies like Pixar, Marvel Entertainment, and Lucasfilms of the Star Wars franchise. The third of the big 6 is 21st Century Fox, which emerged in 2013 as a spin-off of Rupert Murdoch's News Corporation. Today, Fox makes about $32 billion a year and is predominantly focused on film and television, including Fox News Channel, which made nearly $800 million in ad revenue in 2014. The last independent conglomerate is Time Warner, with revenues of about $27 billion. In the 1990s, they were the largest media company in the world, but an unsuccessful merger with AOL at the peak of the dot-com bubble made them lose nearly $100 billion in 2002. Since then, AOL and Time Inc., as well as Time Warner's entire cable division, have become separate companies. Because they are now unrelated, Time Warner and Time Warner Cable are the 4th and 5th largest media companies in the world, according to Forbes. Finally, the last 2 are CBS and Viacom. In 2013, they reported about $14 to $15 billion in revenue each. They used to be a single company controlled by National Amusements, a movie theater chain. Today, although they are individually held, National Amusements owners have enough stock in both to effectively dictate control. So in a way, there aren't even 6 conglomerates, but 5. Or maybe there are 7. Some, including Time Warner's former vice chairman Ted Turner, have said media conglomerates have become oligopolies and that they stifle innovation. but others point out that they can also provide a greater global reach for smaller and new companies. In fact, I work for one of those newer companies, Fusion, which is partially owned by ABC Disney. Check out my mini documentary about independent citizen journalists in Brazil challenging Rio's police brutality. This complex of favelas was once firmly in the hands of the Red Band, a notorious narco-trafficking gang, but police have established an occupation force here, part of the government's controversial urban pacification initiative. Don't forget to like and subscribe to TestTube News, and make sure to check out my channel, Timcast. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Well, what a surprise, yes or no? It is a surprise to know that every single television program or every single magazine or newspaper that you read any other place of the world, it belongs to a conglomerate of very strong, powerful media where multinational companies like Disney, for example, is the one controlling the rest. See that? So that's why you can never think that the media is not influenced by political matters, because they are. In fact, they are. Friends, I want to check the homework. So let's go to your book, the workbook, page 41. Let's go to workbook, page 41, and let's check the reading that I assigned as homework last class. This exercise here, effect of television on childhood. My God. This one here. Nowadays, television occupies a large portion of children's time. From when they start in preschool, children spend more time watching television than participated in any other activity. And then we have number one. What is the word missing in number one? Do you have any idea? And but. In any other activity but sleeping. Well, why not? Except, yes. Yes. It can be except or but. Yes. The result of some research suggests that there is considerable overlap, the comprehension processes, etc. In number two,
In
is acceptable. Yes.
And on?
On. Let me see. The result of some research suggests that there is considerable overlap on the comprehension. No, in the comprehension. Between is acceptable too, Ana Huerta, yes.
Okay.
So it can be between or in. The comprehension processes activated while reading and the processes that take place a period of time, a period of television viewing. What is the word here in number 3?
During, perhaps?
Yes, during is the adequate word. During a period of television viewing. If this is
So?
so, if this is so, it may very well the case.
Excuse me.
Yes. B. Yes.
In number 4, can it be true? If this is true,
If this is true, it may very well be if it is true. Yes, why not? Yes. It is acceptable here, yes. So in number 4 can be so or true. In number 5 is be. So be the case that children who learn comprehension skills from television viewing before they are ready to read are equipped. What is the preposition after equipped? With. Yes, with. Equipped with some very important tools when they later learn to read. It has been noted that children are frequently better at recalling televised stories they have watched compared to those they have simply heard. And in number 7,
according
to the fact that no, there is a collocation for this.
Due to?
Yes, yes. Due to the fact that it is a visual medium, television can present information more concretely than written and spoken text, making it an ideal medium in options in which to cultivate some of the skills and knowledge needed for later reading. Correct, friends. Very good.
Could it be number 8 in order to?
In which number?
In the last one.
I'm sorry? In number 1?
Number 8.
In number 8?
In order to.
No, because it changed the meaning.
Okay.
Yes, making it an ideal medium in order to cultivate. No, in which. Okay. No para, in order to es para, sino en el cual cultivar. No para cultivar, sino en el cual cultivar alguna de las habilidades y conocimientos necesitados para una lectura posterior. Friends, and now let's go to the other part of the homework, which was speaking on page 88. So let's see page 88. Page 88. Speaking. And this is the diagram that we receive. The topic, I think, is very easy. Read these written prompts for speaking part 3 task. Briefly consider this task and note down a few ideas. The question is in central position, as always. How can these powerful influences affect people's ideas and people's behavior? For example, the advertising. How can advertising influence on the ideas and behavior of people? How the newspapers can influence also, or not, is your opinion. Multinational corporations. think of Apple, think of Samsung, think of IBM, etc. The internet. How do you think the internet is influencing on ideas and behavior of people? The television, radio. This is the topic of conversation. And we are going to make an experiment tonight because we are not in the classroom. You are in your house and I am in mine. So how can we practice speaking in a conversation if we are apart? That is what we have to do tonight. Every person in their corresponding houses, you have to establish a conversation with another student, analyzing how these powerful influences affect the ideas and the behavior of many, many people in the world. The advertising, when you are watching a program on television that there are so many advertising, 7 minutes in Spain, 7 minutes advertising of all kind of things, you know. The newspaper, I don't know if newspaper affect young people a lot in Spain. I don't think so, but maybe you are Spanish people, you have more opinion than me. The multinational corporations, you know, the internet, the television, the radio. Who wants to begin the speaking exam? I think this exam is very easy. Volunteers to take the exam. Come on, friends, it's not difficult. Nobody? Are you so nervous about this?
I offer myself.
Thank you, Javi. You are very kind, friend. Thank you very much. So we have Javi and another person. Are you going to leave Javi alone, friends? Patrick, help me. Patrick Paez. Can you take the exam with Javi?
Okay, yes.
Thank you very much. You are very kind, friend.
Okay.
Well, this is the topic. You see, how can these powerful influences, the advertising, newspaper, multinational, etc., affect the ideas and the behavior of people? I'm going to tell you 1, 2, 3, and you begin. Right? I will control 2 minutes, and then at the end, I tell you how the exam was. So I have Javi and Patri.
But we have 2 minutes instead of only 1.
You have 2 minutes because it is the conversation. Remember, it is always 2 minutes.
Okay.
The conversation is always 2 minutes.
Okay.
And it's not much, Javi. In reality, it's not much. So don't entertain yourself.
Okay.
Well, 1,
Okay.
2, 3.
Okay.
Well, shall I start?
Yes.
I think this is the key of all our actual system, because how you sell your product in advertising, for example, modifies your idea from the brand, and I think this is very important for companies and for society. How do you see it?
Yeah, I think that advertising can influence people, for example, on what to buy or the way of buying, and it may also attract people to compulsive shopping, what is not good. And I agree with you in that case. Well, what about newspapers? I think that maybe for young people is not something that can influence a lot, but maybe the way of thinking of the political ideas of old people, maybe could be. What do you think about it?
And I think it's true, because newspaper are not the most preferred media for young people to get informed, but only the paper ones. If you see all the digital newspapers of sports or something like that, they have lots of views in the internet. What I think is more important is multinational corporations, uh, because they are on the in the advertising, they are in the newspapers, and if you are well known, you will modify opinions, you will modify ideas of your society, and this has its.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Time is over. Time is over. You see, you speak too much, friends. Your problem is not that you don't speak. Your problem is that you speak too much. We have to speak less, right? We have to speak briefly, because 2 minutes is nothing. See, Javi, imagine 1 minute. In 1 minute, we are not able to say a word.
Yes.
So it's not much. Thank you for your effort, Patrick. Thank you, friend. Javi, you are a brave man because you volunteer yourself. Let's see if other people can finish the exam. Friends, volunteers for this part of the exam. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Javi. Volunteers.
Me and my brother that are next.
Very good. Alvaro and Rodrigo.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Well, let me prepare conditions, friends. Yes, I'm ready. So Alvaro and Rodrigo. 1, 2, 3.
Shall I start?
Yes.
Well, I think that advertising influence a lot of in people ideas, because sometimes the notice are false or are confusing. What do you think?
Yes, I think your idea is correct, as if there is so much advertising is for something. Okay, the next one, television and radio. I think that is not a very big influence, because the radio nowadays is important, but more for music than for other things. What do you think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Also, the internet, I think that influence a lot, because now we have a lot of knowledge there, and a lot of different notice that can influence people that are true or not true. What do you think?
Yes, I think it's correct. And more than the internet is very important for young people. The next one about multinational corporations is also a very big, important influence, as money moves the world, and that makes that advertising in this concept is very, very important. What do you?
Yeah, I see eye to eye with you. Also, newspaper, I think that influence very little, because nowadays the technology has evolved a lot, and progress. So newspaper are disappearing, but the newspaper in internet, I think that are good and don't influence a lot. What do you think?
Yeah, I have the same idea about this topic. Because, for example, newspapers, although in internet are very famous, like for example, El País or El Mundo, are not as
Okay. Okay, you pass the exam, friends. You pass
Okay,
the
teacher.
exam. Very good. Very good. But you see, you cannot speak much. You have to go running, almost running. It was perfect. You talk about the 5 aspects, brothers.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Very good
Yeah,
work. Volunteers, friends. Volunteers.
Me,
Yes.
Anne,
Anne and another person. Another person.
And me?
And who is me?
Anna.
Anne and Anna.
Yes.
Good. Very good. Well, let me prepare conditions, friends. Wait a second. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Shall I start?
yes, sure.
Okay. In my opinion, advertising affect a lot because they create a necessity that we don't have. I mean, you can watch an advertisement of a piece of clothing and you want to buy it, although you have other similar in the wardrobe, don't you think?
Yes, I really think I do with you. I think that that also happens in television and radio because this could be connected with advertising too. You see a lot of brands, and as you see them quite often, you think that they are more important than other brands that you don't usually watch in television. What do you think about this?
Yes, I agree because I think that television and radio create some kind of stereotype. Many people and younger want to be like their idols. But in my opinion, it's really important the internet because they have an important power in our lives. For example, internet has changed our way of communication with other people, and also the necessity of an answer immediately. I don't know what do you think about.
Yes, this is quite connected with the way we relate ourselves with others right now, and it becomes to us a necessity to be connected 25 hours. But what do you think about multinational corporations?
In my opinion, multinational corporations have a big influence in our ideas and behavior, and I think that it's similar to advertisement because multinational corporations have an absolute power and people need to follow them. Ah, ah.
Oh,
Well, see, yes, it's terrible. To me, it's terrible. Uh, you couldn't finish, but it was good. The quality was good, but you could not finish.
Hmm.
Anyway, in some cases, even when we don't finish, in some cases, we pass the exam. The problem is that we pass the exam with a very low mark, and this is not enough for you, friends. You need to pass, and you need to pass with good marks to save other situations. But that's what we have to do in class to make the effort that you, Anne, and you, Anna, has done. That is trying to do it. Not always we get it. It's like competition. Not always we win. Now here in my neighborhood, I don't know your neighborhood, my neighbors are clapping at the medical service. Yes, yes, because they are
cheers.
making a big sacrifice of their time and work, saving lives. So it is a very respectful attitude the service, the medical service are giving us. Well, friends, vocabulary. We have to study the talking verbs. We began last class studying the talking verbs. Verbs like comment, discuss, say, tell, talk, speak. They are considered to be talking verbs. Let's go to page 89 in your books. Here in this page, exercise number 2, because we did exercise 1 in class. This exercise, exam candidates sometimes make mistakes when using talking verbs. Choose the correct verbs in these sentences. And what you are going to do is to select the talking verb that you consider to be perfect in the context and underline the one you consider to be right. As soon as you finish, send me a little message for me to check the answers. Let's begin doing exercise 2, page 89 in your student's book. Come on. Okay, friends, let's check the answers. Number one, this one here. Many people believe that the mass media don't always say or don't always tell the truth.
Tell.
Tell. Very good. When I'm in China, I can understand what people are speaking, or I can understand what people are saying to me.
Saying.
Saying, correct. But I can hardly speak, but I can hardly talk any Chinese myself.
Speak.
Speak, yes, very good. So in number one, it is tell. In number two, it is saying and speak. Number three, this morning's newspaper doesn't even say the economic crisis, or this morning's newspaper doesn't even mention the economic crisis. Opinions?
Mention.
Yes,
Mention.
yes. 4. The spokesperson for the authorities express his thanks for people's understanding, or the spokesperson for the authorities spoke his thanks for the people's understanding. Expressed or spoke?
Expressed.
Expressed. Very good, Patrick. There is an article in many newspapers which says that people absorb information, or there is an article in my newspaper which writes that people absorb information more quickly, blah, blah, blah.
I think it says.
Says, yes. Yes, the article doesn't write, no. Very good. When asked about the latest rumors, the minister refused to comment, or the minister refused to say.
Comment?
Yes, that's what we use, comment, yes. After Ben had used Wikipedia, he said, or he told everyone how great it was.
Told?
He told everyone, yes. He didn't mention the fact that blah, 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 or he didn't tell the fact that it had taken him an hour to find what he wanted. Mention or tell?
Mention.
Mention, correct. 8. If you feel strongly about something, you should express your mind, or you should speak your mind.
Speak.
Speak your mind. Speak your mind. Di lo que tienes en mente. Di lo que piensas. Speak your mind. Very good, friends. Very good. Page 92 in your books, student's book, page 92. Transitive verbs. Transitive verbs, page 92. Here, transitive verbs. Transitive verb must be followed by an object. Yes. Similar to Spanish, right? An object is un complemento, an object. Observe the examples. He persuaded, the verb is persuaded. And me is the object. He persuaded me to leave. Persuade is a transitive verb which needs an object. When a verb requires an object, it is considered to be transitive. When the verb doesn't need an object, it is intransitive. For example, run. I run every day. See, run is an example of intransitive because it doesn't require an object. Persuade is an example of transitive because you need to say who, me, you, they, etc. So this is considered to be transitive. Another example, he decided to leave. Decide is an intransitive verb which has no direct object. See that? He decided, me, you too. No, nothing. Which of the verbs listed need an object to complete these sentences? Allowed, for example. Can you say he allowed to leave at 10 o'clock? Impossible. We never say he allowed to leave. No, he allowed me to leave at 10 o'clock. He allowed us to leave at 10 o'clock. Right? So allowed needs an object. Allowed is an example of transitive verb. Agreed. He agreed to leave at 10 o'clock. Is this possible or not? He agreed to leave at 10 o'clock. Think of that. If agreed is acceptable in this space in blank, agreed is intransitive. Is it possible? He agreed to leave at 10 o'clock. ¿Estuvo de acuerdo en marcharse a las 10?
Yes, it's possible.
It's possible, yes. So this is the difference between allowed and agree. Well, the difference apart from the meaning, no? They have different meanings. Allowed es permitir y agreed es estar de acuerdo. They are different, but not only in the meaning, also in the use, because allowed is transitive and agreed is intransitive. So in the sentence, he to leave at 10 agreed can be used, but allowed cannot be used. And warned, el verbo advertir, warn. Is it possible to use warn in this sentence? He to leave at 10 o'clock?
No.
No, no, because warn is transitive. You need to say who. He warned you, he warned me, he warned us. So warn is transitive and you cannot use it in this example. Instructed. Is possible to use instructed in this sentence? Can we say he instructed to leave at 10 o'clock? No. You cannot use instructed in this sentence because you need to say who. He instructed me to leave at 10 o'clock. So you need a me, or he instructed us, or he instructed them. You see, instructed is transitive. It's not a verb for this sentence. Refused. Analyze it. What's your opinion? Yes, he refused to leave. Yes, because refused is intransitive. Very good. So after refuse, you can use a verb because it is intransitive. He refused to leave. Se negó a irse a las 10. Now, required. Required is transitive, so you cannot use required in this example. And what about arranged? Yes, thank you, Anne. You can say that he arranged to leave at 10 o'clock. Yes. So arrange is intransitive. Observe the second. The sentence is she blank that she was leaving at 10 o'clock. Can we use told in this sentence? She told that she was leaving at 10. No, we cannot use told in this sentence because you need to say who. She told me, she told you. Huh? So told is transitive. You cannot use it with that. I repeat. In number one, what the book wants to teach you is that in case of transitive verbs, we never use the infinitive to leave, like in the example, he to leave. We don't use a verb after after a transitive verb. And in the second example, they are teaching you that after a transitive verb, we never use that. She told me, and now maybe that, but me first, because told is transitive. Reminded. Remind is another transitive verb. You need to tell who. She reminded me, she reminded you that blah, blah, blah. Yes, but first me, you, them. Because remind, similar to told, they are transitive. Convinced. Do you think that convinced is transitive or intransitive?
Transitive.
It is transitive, yes, Patrick, correct. Yes, because we say convinced me, she convinced me, or they convinced us. Yes, it's transitive. So this is not a sentence for convinced. She convinced that? No. Mention. Mention is intransitive. So you can use mention in this example with that. You can say, she mentioned that she was leaving at 10 o'clock, and this is correct. Because transitive is, sorry, because mention is intransitive. Admitted. Do you think admitted is transitive or intransitive?
Intransitive.
It is intransitive. Very good. So admitted can be used with that. She admitted that she was leaving, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Informed. This is transitive verb. Informed.
I have one question.
Yes.
Sorry, I want to ask, it is possible to use admit like a transitive one? For example, he admitted his error, or I don't think if I don't know if it's possible both uses with this verb.
Yes. And in others, yes. And for example, when they say they admitted me in their group.
Yes, for example.
It could, yes. There are cases in which admit could be transitive. Yes.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
yes, you are right, Javi. Now, informed is transitive. So you need to say who you informed. She informed me, she informed them. So in this case, inform is not a good verb for this example of sentence with that. We are not going to say she informed that, but recall, yes, is to call again, to repeat it, to insist, recall. It is intransitive. So you can say she recalled that she was leaving at 10 o'clock. She recalled, nos recordó. Is this very important? Not that important. It's only for you to remember, because now the important exercise is coming, which is exercise number 2. Exercise 2 says, many verbs can be used both transitively and intransitively. You see, Javi, what you were telling me, exactly this. Some verbs can be used both transitively and intransitively, sometimes with different meanings. Discuss the differences in meaning between the verbs involved in these sentences. And then you have 1A and 1B. See that? For example, 1A, he promised he'd be at home, but he was out when I called. And B, I was so annoyed that I called him a very rude name. So in number 1A, they are using call intransitively. And in 1B, they are using call transitively because you have him. What is the difference? The same with number 2, 3, 4, and 5. I need you to analyze the examples and be prepared to explain what is the difference between call transitive and call intransitive, run transitive and run intransitive, etc., etc. I'm going to give you some minutes, right? Okay, let's begin. Thanks, Javi. Let's give some minutes to the rest of the class. Very good. Have you finished? Anna finished too. Anna Huerta finished. Rodrigo, have you finished?
Yeah, teacher.
Good. I think we could check this. It's not so difficult in reality. As soon as you observe the first one, for example, which says, he promised he'd be at home, but he was out when I called, I immediately realized that after call, I have no object. So this is intransitive. And this is the case when I use call as a manner of being in contact with someone. This call means that maybe I visited the person in the house, or maybe I phoned the person, but the person was out. However, in letter B, call him a very rude name. It is transitive because you have him, and the meaning is different. When I say I was so annoyed that I called him a very rude name, is that I gave him a name, that I named him with something ugly, right? So cold in number one is like phoning, and cold in letter B is like telling a name, ugly name. That is to call him a very rude name. In number two, Tarek runs every day before he goes to work. This is intransitive, and runs means literally to run. It's to do exercise, running. But letter B, it is transitive because it tells he runs a small IT company. So a small IT company is the object. It is transitive. And you know, friends, that in letter B, runs means to manage, you know, to manage the company. That's the meaning of run in this example. Well, now in number 3A, I'm fine, thanks. I can usually manage my own on my own. This one, it is intransitive. Manage in 3A is intransitive. And it means that I usually succeed in doing something very difficult. I can do it. I succeed in doing something without help. That is the meaning of manage in 3A. In 3B, managing a bookshop is the object. So managing in 3B is transitive. Yes. And it means to be in charge of the bookshop, to be the responsible of the bookshop, to administrate the bookshop. So the meanings are different. In 4a, we need to leave in half an hour, intransitive, leave, and it means, you know, to depart, to go. That's the meaning, to go. We need to go. But in B, you can take your bike, you have to leave it here. It is transitive because you have it. You have to leave it. It is the bike. And the meaning is different. It means that you have to let the bicycle in the place where it is now. You cannot take it home. That is the meaning of leave in the second example. When leave is transitive, it means let it there. Let it. 5, we are planning to move next year. It refers to house or flat. You are going to change your house, or you are going to change your house or flat. This is intransitive. But in 5b, my car won't start. Could you help me move it, please? In this case, it is transitive because you have it, and the meaning is that you need a help to change the position of the car. So move is to change the position. When move is transitive, it means to change the position of something. And move in transitive means to change your house or to change your flat. And now, exercise 3 is more important. This exercise here. Exam candidates often miss out objects. Yes, I see this in your writings. Miss out objects means that los estudiantes se olvidan del complemento. ¿Ah? No ponen el complemento. Y si el verbo es transitivo, necesitan el complemento. El más significativo para mí es el verbo tell, el verbo decir. Tell es transitivo. Say es intransitivo. Esa es la diferencia entre tell y say. Si yo quiero decir a quién se le dice, tengo que usar el transitivo, tell. Tell me, tell you. Si yo no quiero decir a quién se le dice, sino qué cosa se ha dicho, say es el perfecto. Ejemplo, she told me she studies French. She told me she studied French. She said she studied French. En el segundo ejemplo, con said, no era importante decir a quién se lo dijo. Se usó el intransitivo, said. Well, let's see if you can do this exercise. It says, exam candidates often miss out objects after transitive verbs, especially verbs with a complex structure. Correct the mistakes in these sentences. For example, number 1. I can assure that we will do everything to resolve your case as quickly as we can. I can assure that we will. The problem here is I can assure. Assure is transitive. I can assure who? I can assure you. See that? So you is missing out. You have to write, I can assure you that blah, blah, blah. The rest is correct. Continue with the others, friends. Let's see if you can finish number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is very important because in every sentence, there is one object missing. In number 2, there is one object missing. In number 3, there is one object missing. In number 4, yes, one object missing. In number 5, only one object missing. And in 6, the same. In all these sentences, there is one object missing. Let's do it, please. Good, Patrick. Very good, Anna. Anna finished too, yes.
Me too, Jerry.
Very good, friends. Let's check the answers then. Well, in number 2, is there a volunteer to read the sentence using the missing object?
I have one doubt here.
Yes.
The correct form is, I'd be very grateful if you could tell me where to look for the information I need.
Yes.
I don't know if it's possible as an alternative to say, I'd be very grateful if you could say where to look for the information I need.
Yes, it could be, but the problem is that they are using tell.
Okay, but it would be correct when speaking, saying the other alternative.
Yes.
Okay.
If you are not interested in telling who, you select say, and you can say, I'd be very grateful if you could say where to look. Yes. But the problem in number 2 is what you mentioned before, that you need me. Yes, me is missing. Correct. And what about number 3?
Do you like my new painting? Maria gave it to me.
Yes, gave it to me. Yes. And 4?
We have been taught special techniques that will allow us to do well in our exams.
Yes, excellent. Allow us, yes. And 5?
I didn't know anyone at Joe's party. Joe introduced me to some of her friends.
Yes, introduced me to blah, blah, blah. Very good, Patri. And the last one, number 6.
Your new job starts on Monday, doesn't it? We all wish you the best of luck.
Yes, we all wish you the best of luck. Very good. These are the transitive and intransitive verbs. This is not a serious problem in the exam, except that from time to time, to be honest, from time to time, my students forget one of the objects, but it's not very constant, the reality. I cannot feel bad with this problem in my classes, because normally my students remember to use the objects, but it's not a bad idea to revise it. So I think it was good. The problem is that the class was boring with so much grammar. So we have to do something next class, something different, right? Well, what about your homework? Because what I have to do now is to begin writing, but can you imagine writing at this time of the day? So next class, we are going to write a proposal, but not today. Don't worry, don't get nervous now, right? It's going to be next class. What I want you keep in mind is that the main topic of this unit was the reported speech. Reported speech is the big grammatical aspect of our unit number 8. And this is going to be present in your examination in a way or in the other, right? So the homework is going to be connected with reported speech. I want you to observe. Let's go a minute. I want to show you something that is in the workbook, page number 40. Let's go a minute to the workbook, page 40. I want to show you something there. Where is it? Here, yes. I think it is on page number 40, 41 or 40. Here. Can you see this exercise 2, page 40? Maybe you can see it on the screen. Can you see it, friend?
Yes.
Yes.
Good, good. Because this is, in my modest opinion, it is a very interesting exercise on reported speech. Very interesting. It says, read what these people said and then complete the reported sentences using a verb from the box below in the past tense. Using a verb from the box below in the past tense. Be careful with that. And the verbs are advise, announce, complain, deny, doubt, inquire, urge, and warn. These are the verbs. Observe the example number 1. The initial sentence is, there'll be an extra public holiday next month. And now the reported speech. The president announced, that's why they eliminated announce from the list, because they use it. Observe that announce is in past, because this is the instruction. The president announced that, between parentheses, optional, you can use it or not. And now all the changes. You see, there will be, there would be. Will becomes would. See that? Next month becomes the following month, as you can see in the example. Conclusion. The president announced there will be an extra public holiday the following month. And now when you begin doing the homework, number 2, for example, it is a question. Are there any job vacancy in the company? And you have to begin. The man, because they give you the beginning of the sentence. The man, and you have to select one of the verbs in the box. The man advised, the man complained, because announced it was used. You cannot repeat it. Well, the man complained, denied, doubt, inquired, urged, warned. What do you think is the adequate verb for a question? Because number 2 is a question.
Inquired.
Yes, Patrick, very good, friend. In past, yes or no?
Yes, ed.
Ed,
Yeah.
yes. So the man inquired. What else? It is a question. It begins with the verb be, so you use if. The man inquired if
there were any job vacancy in the company.
Excellent, Patrick. That is, yes, my friend. This is the homework, right? The other part of the homework is in the student's book. In the student's book, because it is connected with reading, you know. It is reading and use of English, page 91, page 91 in the student's book, exercise 6. Exercise 6. I'm going to show you this exercise now in the book. Excuse me a minute. Oh my God. Yes. Page 91. Here. This is the exercise, you see? Exercise 6, blah, blah, blah. But logically, this exercise is connected with the text that you have in the previous page. Do you understand? Hey, friends, do you understand?
Yes.
I think
Yes.
Patrick, thank you.
Yes.
I thought it was Patrick, the only person with me in class. Javi, are you still there? Thank you, Javi. Thank you, friend. Well, so conclusion. We have two homeworks. One is reading comprehension. Thank you, Anna. One is reading comprehension, exercise 6, you know, page 91 in the student's book. And the second homework is in the workbook. What was the exercise? In the workbook, I don't remember. I think it's page 40. Yes, page 40, exercise 2. Is the homework clear for you, friends?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for the chorus. Thank you, friends. Thank you very much. So see you next class, and we will check all these exercises. I wish you the best of the evening. Rest a little, and see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much, friends.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.